Anytime he gets the chance, pro angler Greg Hackney loves to fish the Atchafalaya Basin. But with the bass spawn all but over with, Hackney will use his time today to pattern post-spawn fish.
I'm thinking that we finally pieced the puzzle together. There's just a slight depression out there where the water gets a little bit deeper, and we've gotten back out here where, you know, again, the water's only 2 foot deep, but in there it was like just a little over a foot, and I just fished just for a second and got bit. So, and basically, you know, we went up there, that's where those fish were spawning, in that gin clear water, in that shallow water. That's where they've been spawning out, and they seem to have just pulled out just not far, you know, in distance, you know, yeah, several hundred yards, but in depth, I mean, they're probably only a half a foot deeper than they were when they spawned. So,
to locate the post-spawn area, Greg had to first locate the spawning area. As the fish began moving away from the spawn area, they were staged up a few hundred yards away in slightly deeper water.
I captured that one. You know, it's funny, they're biting so good. Why I'm not catching them. But you can tell. Now see, that fish doesn't look like they've been through spawning long, because see how, he's not healed up yet. And they just get that a lot when they, after they've been spawning. They get sores, and it looks about like the first one I just jerked out of the water there when I first dropped it in there.
The next thing Greg figured out was what type of cover the fish were relating to. After fishing a couple duck blinds in the post-spawn area, Greg was able to key in on bass that were holding tight to the blinds.
It seems like just the little bit of deeper stuff just outside of probably where all the mass spawning went on, you know, is holding a few fish. And I can get multiple bites. Like, it's funny how that is, but that's kind of a post-spawn fish deal. They start to bunch back up again. You know, that first duck blind I fished, I got 4 or 5 bites on, and I've had 2 on this one, 1 on the last one, and it seems like they want to be on that hard stuff, you know, something solid, and they're out a little bit deeper. The water's probably about a half a foot deeper, and it's got a little more color in it, you know, out here from up there. We've been up there and sampled, you know, where they spawned at, and the water was gin clear, and it just didn't seem to be much life up there. But they typically school up this time of the year, you know. And even shallow fish like these, you know, they won't be, you know, 100 bass schools on a duck blind like you would find offshore at Toledo Bend, but it'll be just small schools, 3 or 4 here, 3 or 4 there. And typically those fish will be there for a couple weeks. You know, when they get on that stuff, you know, you can just keep coming back to it. And so look at this. So we're in this big flat. I mean, it's lily pads as far as you can see, but the fish want to be on something different in the cover. So it's almost like, I kind of call it complex cover. Yeah, there's pads out there, but they seem to be attracted to something different. That's not the one. Now, I've been bit on this dock twice, and the other one was a good one. I say it bit me twice, but now I don't know, I've caught 2 on it. And that's just another little millfish. That one I lost was about 3 pounds. They kind of weird biting, I don't know. Yeah, I think because, now I've not seen the fry, but I'm just going by the way these fish are biting, that some of these fish, not all of them, but some of these fish on these docks are garden fry. And got another one. Not all of them, but I will tell you now, every fish I've caught off one of these duck blinds have all been males. But some of them are biting, like around there on the end a while ago when I got 2 bites back to back. I'm pretty sure fish acts like a fry garter. And I caught one a while ago, I'm pretty sure I'd already had on the flip before. And you know what's happening, and they're suspended, and that fish is guarding the water column. He's not guarding on the bottom. He don't care anything about that, but he's just looking for anything that's coming around that might eat those little bass. And that's just the way they're biting, you know. They just come running out of there wide open when they, you know, like they just want to get it out of the area. You know, because these duck blinds today have a lot of wood, there's a lot of wire, rope, you know, anything a duck hunter needs, basically, in the water around them. A Texas rig was the best bait. Now, I first got bit swimming a jig around them, but to keep from getting hung, I rigged up a Texas rig rodent, which 1/4 ounce Strike King tungsten weight and 50-pound gamma braid. All I'm doing, I got a straight shank 5/0 flipping hook, which is kind of standard for that rodent because it's a pretty beefy bait, so I like a big hook. I use a rubber peg, and basically all I'm doing is putting that peg through the weight and pulling it down. And so today, color-wise, green pumpkin's been the best. That's just a Strike King green pumpkin rodent, right out of the package. I always pull the legs apart, gives it a little more action, but it's basically a bait that just has a great profile. It does not really do any crazy action. And I'm just Texas rigging it. And again, that bait, when flipping around, it doesn't matter if you're around small fish, big fish, whatever. This is a 7.3 Lew's Hack Attack rod. It's a special jig rod, it's a 7.3. Kind of an all-purpose rod. When I'm not using a big weight, I don't like a full-blown flipping stick. This is a custom Pro Lew's reel, 8-3-1. I like a super fast reel doing this. I don't know if you've noticed some of these fish, when I stick them, I mean, it doesn't matter if they weigh 1 pound or 9 pounds, they're coming out of there wide open. You gotta be able to keep up that slack. Again, because these fish are biting kind of soft, right now, I'm liking this a little bit smaller rod for the application, and I'm only using a 1/4 ounce weight. You know, the next time you're looking for those post-spawn bass, look for something different. Join us here next time on Sportsman TV.